Professor V.N. Jha retired from Pune University, but more than that, his activity of popularizing Nyaya Shastra among contemporary seekers of Indian knowledge systems is the greatest contribution to the contemporary times. And he also brought out wonderful works of the ancient period and wonderful aspects of ancient period from the known literature also. For example, he brought out the Charvaka work uh, for under the auspices of Chinnaya University, which is amazing. Actually, we people expect a Charvaka work to be brought out by Marxists or leftists because they are materialists are interested more in their own. They consider Charvakas to be their predecessors and they would bring it out. But it was Professor Jha who brought it out, not they. And there are many such aspects in Mimamsa aspects which actually shut the mouths of the critiques of Indian tradition from social justice point of view. All those aspects also were brought out by Professor Jha. And in his popularizing of Nyaya Shastra among contemporary English knowing modern seekers, he went all around the country. Probably now he created a very big number of corporate employee uh, kind of people and modern other discipline students in the universities who are learned in Nyaya Shastra because of his propagation of Nyaya Shastra among various people. Professor Jha was not able to attend this particular symposium because of his family responsibilities. That itself actually was amazing for me that in spite of being such a great scholar, he was attending to his family responsibilities and his responsibility towards his daughter and all that is such a meticulous care and concern. And because of that, he said that he probably was not able to attend the symposium. But I requested him to come here because only he can do what he's going to do today. He's going to give the theoretical framework of how actually what people think the contribution of Nyaya Shastra to be giving the framework of Vaada actually is in fact part of what in the contemporary Western studies is called discourse. They use the word discourse for it. So it is considered as part of debate is considered to be a kind of discourse. So how it is a kind of discourse, Professor Jha is going to enlighten us with his inaugural address today. Professor Jha, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Paturi. It's a pleasure to join such activities. As I had told you that I'm little engaged in personal matters, and so perhaps I shall not be able to spare so much time as I would have wanted. But since it's a relationship with Nyaya Shastra, which is at my heart all along, so I think at least I must make my presence and speak something little to draw the attention of the scholars, the way that they should proceed on inquiring into this. So I thank you for the opportunity given, and I'm very happy to note that your institution is doing a very, very great job, great service for preservation and dissemination of the great tradition of Indian intellectual, philosophical, and spiritual tradition of our country. And I am so happy. And there is another reason that I must have I decided that at least, even if for little time, I should join and share whatever I am thinking. So thank you. And you just mentioned about the Charvaka. I am going to offer a full course in February in the same premises of SIF, Chinmay International Foundation, from 17th to 24th of February. I'm going to read the portion of Sarvadarshana Sangraha, that Charvaka Darshana, for a week. Because when you have focus on the knowledge of the truth, then you cannot afford to ignore any thought. You must take into account whosoever has something to contribute in whatever manner. And that has been the beauty of our tradition, that it has all along been holistic. So Charvaka, whosoever starts talking about something, even Charvaka is not bracketed. So any discourse, you find that he starts with Charvaka. So what he has to say. And in today's American, as you say, you cannot avoid scientists. So Charvaka is now scientist. And a scientist, when he try to make it a little picture with a broader perspective, then he's not called a scientist. Then there is doubts whether he's a scientist or not. Anyway, so this has been our tradition, that nothing is bracketed. And that is the beauty of the tradition. So Charvaka, so rightly you said, when I was asked to translate that text, I was so happy, because that gives an opportunity to have a dialogue with the text. So I accepted and translated, they published, and then everything happened. Anyway, so thank you. Let me, whatever I have thought, I have organized in few slides. I will show it to you and speak. So this is what Professor Paturi suggested, that I should address the Samvaada. It's a bigger canvas, Samvaada. So if you look at the dictionary meaning, some of them, it is conversation or dialogue or colloquy. Now again, the moment I read such things, in the dictionary, I remember the Veda, Rig Veda. And now you see that you can go straight to the Rig Veda. You see Sangachadvam, Samvada. You see Samvadadvam. What is Samvadadvam? Samvada. So etymology is provided in the Rig Veda.
Yeah, excellent.
What else do you want? And then dialogue hymns, Samvada Sukta. So many Samvada Suktas continued in the Upanishadic period and whatnot. So it's a great tradition of Samvada. The next meaning that is very important for me, because that is where the Nyaya Shastra enters. It is argumentative conversation. It's a dialogue with an argument. And that is what is called discussion. Discussion is not narration. It is argumentative discussion. So you have some doubt, some gap in understanding, and you are interested in filling up that gap. And then you enter into a discussion. And so you will be giving your own ground. The participants will be giving other grounds. And then ultimately you have to arrive at the truth. So what should be the motive of this discussion? That is important. And accordingly, in the last lecture that I had given in the forum, you remember that I I had mentioned 3 types of discourses. And that is Vaada, Jalpa, and Vitanda. These are the 3 types of discussion. But all the 3 can be divided only with the criterion of a purpose of discussion. So if the purpose of discussion is truth, knowing the truth, that is the ideal form of discussion, ideal form of Samvada, ideal form of discourse, ideal form of Vaada. So out of the 3, the Vaada is the ideal. Now, I will take a very, very bigger canvas and to point out to you by providing a context where this has been discussed. Other meanings are not that immediately important now. Yeah, it also means, Samvada also means news. Samvada means concurrence. Samvada means agreement. Samvada means rapport. Again, when you have Shabdabodha, for example. Now, Shabdabodha is a decoding of a sentence. So, the speaker encoded it. So, speakers acquired knowledge of the reality. He encoded it in a sentence and he uttered. Thereafter, another process begins, and that is the process of decoding. The process of decoding is Shabdabodha Prakriya. And when you arrive at the understanding of the sentence, after completely decoding it, whatever has been concluded must match with the reality, the knowledge of which was encoded in the sentence. If this happens, it is called Samvada. So, the English word can be rapport for that. So, this is also off and on discussed in Nyaya system. Now, in Nyaya Shastra, therefore, we will focus on Katha. The broader term is, therefore, given a form. So, Samvada, then next term should be Katha, narration. But if it is an argumentative narration, then it takes the form of a discussion or a debate or Vaada or Jalpa or Vitanda, whatever. So this is the thing. And that is why all the 3 definitions, if you look at, see, this is the ideal form of discussion or Samvada or Vaada. It is called Vaada. Tattva Bubhutsu Katha. So it's the Katha that aims at knowing the truth. That's all, no other aim. So let him be a Charvaka, let him be a Jaina, let him be Buddha, let him be different systems of Vedanta, Mimamsa, Yoga, Sankhya, whatever. Let all join. And let us begin the discussion. And then let us come to the conclusion. No other matter should intervene. Your prejudices, your own worldviews, etc., keep in the balance. Aim is to arrive at the truth. If that is the motive, then this is called Vaada. But if the aim is winning, Vijagishu Katha. If you want to win, the same becomes Jalpa. And if you have the aim that, no, you are interested only refuting what others say, without providing an alternative. So, Swapaksha Sthapana Hina. You have no opinion of your own. You are interested only in criticizing others. Parapaksha Khandanam. That's all. Then the same becomes Vitanda. Nowadays, I think this is more prevailing. and Jalpo also sometimes, but they're also the fail. And hardly you come across this Vaada. So this is one meaning, and this is the actual meaning, theorizing the entire activity of taking part in the process of arriving at the truth. So, and the other one I have told you, it is rapport. Rapport is corroboration. Rapport is whatever was known, whatever the world the speaker saw, if the listener also starts seeing the same world, then we call there is Samvada. And if does not, and this is the beauty is that that has been made a criterion for the success of communication. So any linguistic communication or non-linguistic communication, my understanding is that all communication must boil down to linguistic communication. Even art, at the understanding level, it has to be brought into sentences. Because a human being cannot understand beyond a sentence. That is why a human being has a privilege that is born with language. So that is what is called understanding. So if a sentence is uttered and the hearer or reader is reading it, the sentence was made a medium, a form, where the knowledge of the reality has been encoded by the speaker. And the listener is decoding it. The Nyaya Shastra, we call it, we are doing a Shabda Bodha. So Jnana Purvaka Shabda Vyapara, that function goes with the speaker. He will encoding it. And the entire Paninian grammar is helping in doing that. And after that is utterance, then Vivaksha comes. So this is what I always say that sentence is an invitation to the reader or listener to see the world that I have seen. Now what I am speaking, and it is an invitation to you just to go to that world that which the knowledge of which I am encoding in my sentences. And if it matches, if it happens, then we call there is Samvada. And when it does not happen, it is called Visamvada. So Samvada and Visamvada, these terms are used in Nyaya in such a context. But today I will give you another context. That is the biggest canvas, where the Nyaya Shastra, the biggest canvas has been used. What is the purpose of all of us being here in this world? And that is conceptualized as mukti or apavarga. That is the final destination of life, goal of life. And in the first sutra itself, it is stated, tattva jnana nishreyasa adhigamaha. Nishreyasa is the ultimate goal. So the ultimate goal of life can be achieved only by knowing the truth. Tattva jnana. Padartha tattva jnana. That is the worldview of Nyaya system. Then question is then how? Then step by step everything has been stated. In the second sutra you see 112, this is 111, 112, he says that once you acquire this tattva jnana, then what will happen? Or what are you at the stage? What is your stage? Your stage is that you are suffering. Nobody can deny. Everybody is experiencing dukkha. So, what do you want? You want to get rid of that. Is it that you want to get rid of it for an hour, or for a year, or for this life, or forever? Certainly you want to get it forever. Then the entire diagnosis has been made. And in its causal chain, the upaya has been stated here. In just one sentence, you can see it. So what is the root cause of my suffering? Mithya Jnana. You see here? Mithya Jnana. Now, Mithya Jnana can be removed only by Tattva Jnana. So go for Tattva Jnana. The root cause of suffering will go. But this Mithya Jnana has created an attitude in me. Dosha. So this is the diagnosis of my suffering. Why I am suffering? Because of Mithya Jnana. How does Mithya Jnana take me to suffering? Because Mithya Jnana has produced dosha. What is dosha? Raga and dvesha. These are the attitudes. To talk in modern psychological terms, you can use it, dosha, as raga and dvesha. This is dosha. And in Bhagavad Gita, you can see in the third chapter, he is asking that what is exactly, why is it happening? So exactly, you see, there is so much of, the sasutrata everywhere. The entire gamut of literature, you can connect it, that it is so unified, theorized as a model of transformation of human being. So, Mithya Jnana leads to dosha, that is raga and dvesha, and it is because of this kind of attitude that you take activities, your vyavahara, your behavior, pravritti, and its result. So it will result into dharma and adharma. If you have doing good work, dharma, bad work, adharma, and they contribute to your janma, cycle of birth. And once you have janma, you are landing in suffering. So sarvam dukkham vivekinaha. Yoga Sutra also tells you the same thing. And same thing is held by Nyaya Shastra after debating. That dukkha because of janma because of dharma, produced by behavior prompted by attitude is formed because of Mithya Jnana. This is the diagnosis of suffering. Now, if you want to remove this chain, you have to start with the root cause. The root cause is Mithya Jnana, can be removed by Tattva Jnana, and then dosha will vanish because it is the effect of. So when the cause is gone, effect is gone. This is the cause of pravritti. So this cause is gone, this effect is gone. This is the cause of this. So if this is gone, this is gone. And when this is gone, its consequence, dukkha, also is gone once for ever. Now, this diagnosis tells you that mithya, therefore you should go for tattva jnana, knowledge of the truth. Now, what is dukkha? Now he says in 1.1.21, badhana lakshanam, that we do not want, that which you do not want. Pida, that is dukkha. And when once you are transformed to a final stage, then that dukkha will not be there. And so, tad atyanta vimokshopavargaha. So all that you should do all your life is only to achieve this kind of a transformation, to achieve a state where there is complete cessation of dukkha. Now, up to this, the whole theory has been stated. Now, in the 4th chapter, he takes up again that some preparation is required for that. How are you going to prepare yourself to have the tattva jnana? And once you have tattva jnana, then of course you can go for apavarga or mukti, because then dukkha nasa will be there. And then in 4th chapter, Chaturtha Adhyaya, Dvitiya INDICA and 45 Sutra, he says, Tadabhavascha apavarge. that dukkha is going to be absent in apavarga state. And then what should we do? Then he starts telling, tadartham yama niyamabhyam atma samskaraha. You should cultivate discipline, atma samskara, inner discipline, by adopting yama and now you can see the paraspara purakatva of darshanas. Is yoga, you should take help from the yoga shastra. Yoga cha adhyatma buddhi upayehi tadabhavaha. So tadartham, for that purpose, for that tattva-jnana, for the mukti, you should start disciplining yourself. Discipline, atma samskara, by which shastra, by which science? Take the science of yoga. And through that you discipline your inner self and proceed for acquiring tattva-jnana, and the tattva-jnana will remove mithya-jnana, and in this way you will be getting apavarga. Now you can see, now yama niyama, when you look at the Yoga Sutra, so you can see that all that has been taken from Yoga Sutra. So ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha, niyamaha. These are to be practiced from Yoga. And then socha, santosha, tapaha, swadhyaya, ishvara pranidhanani, niyamaha. And so all the Ashtanga Yoga, you should take help of, practice, and then you can prepare yourself to your goal of acquiring the tattva-jnana, by which you will be liberated from the suffering. And then this is where that is the reason that I took this bigger canvas, because of this sutra number 4 to 47. That jnana, he says, so this is you take the help of yoga shastra, and also take the help of this jnana, grahana, and abhyasa. This is also required to be done by you. Not only this. So jnana is karane lit, jnayate anena. So this is the Nyaya shastra. And then grahana. I will be telling you the bhashya, then you will understand it. And then a repeated practice of that. So take the help of Nyaya shastra and take the help of Yoga shastra. Not only that, a third component you should add in your discipline, and tad vidyescha samvada. And those who are knowledgeable persons, philosophers, practitioners, transform people, with them you should have a dialogue. You should have a discussion.
Amazing. Amazing.
You see? What else do you need? Do you need to read anything else? But Professor Paturi, this was never made known. Your education policy. Why should you not start this from the early age?
Correct.
From a school, from college, from university. Such a holistic approach for transformation of life. And if you want to do this, you discipline yourself. Take the help of, you see now the paraspara purakatva. So yoga shastra, you take help of it. Something is not discussed here in Nyaya shastra, but something is required in another shastra. Therefore, they did not spend time for developing that also. It has already been developed by Patanjali. So take help of that and make use of it and get transformed. Not only that, he says that little more clarification you should do. And what is that? He says, Tam Shishya Guru Sabbrahmachari Vishishta Sreyorthivi Anusuyivihi Abhyupeyat Samvadam. So you should materialize Samvada, discourse, by approaching not only the Tadvidya, means Tadvidya, you clarify what are those Tadvidyas. Even a student, teacher, your classmates, Sabbrahmachari. So, all those who are all interested in transformation. So those all, maybe he is student, maybe a teacher, maybe your co-partner, sahapatin. With all they should have discussion. Samvadam abhyupeyat. But such a beautiful adjective has been given, you see. Anusuyuhi. Those who are not having any jealousy. Free from jealousy. Because then the truth will not come out.
Yes.
Reality
It is
will
so
not
non-hierarchical also. It is it is not just with Guru, even Shishyas are mentioned.
Yeah.
Sabbrahmachari is also.
Yeah, Sabbrahmachari, Vishishta Arthavi. So Shreya is Mukti. So all those Mukti, I take it to be a state of transformation, ultimate state of transformation. So all those who want transformation in life, with all of them, you should have discussion. And then further, you see, I feel, why do I feel so much in love with Nyaya Shastra, you see? He says, while doing this, you may find, you may approach a teacher, maybe he may be Shankara's follower, or he may be Madhva follower, or Ramanuja follower, or Chaitanya, anybody having different concept of mukti or different kind of a thing, then maybe if you approach, he may think that you are going to defeat him, or you are going to superimpose your own view on him. You see, these are psychological analysis that you should do. And then you should have a strategy. What kind of strategy you should have? If you apprehend that some such thing is going to occur, then what should you do? Pratipakshahinam apiva prayojanam arthitve samvada arthitve sati. Then you don't engage yourself in the argumentative mood. You become modest. You become modest and you say, okay, Shishyasteham swadhimam tvam sadhimam tvam prapannam. You just say like that, and don't allow him to feel that you are going to oppose his personal worldview. What a beautiful psychological analysis you can see. So, pratipaksha hinam api samvadarthitve sati. So, your purpose is to have samvada, no? You are interested in samvada. So, samvadarthitve sati pratipaksha hinam api samvadam kurya. So, you engage yourself in a samvada where you don't bring this argumentative. So the moment because then there will be no pratipaksha. So he will not be afraid that you are going to destroy his position or you are contesting his worldview. Nothing like that. So become modest and approach him and try to materialize the real samvada, that is the tattva bhuvutsu katha. Then he says that what about Jalpa and Vitanda? And Jalpa and Vitanda, you see, it is something like when you put a seed in the soil for sprouting, then you comprehend that some animals may come in and spoil it. So what you do, you create a fence around that, and fence of thorns, so that the animals cannot enter and destroy the sprouts of the seed. As you do that, you should handle Jalpa and Visanda in that way. So you should not use it, but you should know what it is. Not only that, sometimes a false argument may appear before you. Some asad hetu may be presented before you. So they have a discussion on jati, asaduttaram jati. Say, hetva bhasa, nigrahasthana, etc. No, in the sutra. So all these things, all the defects, but you should know defects. So not only the ideal form of discourse, Vaada, you should also know the avoidable forms of, but avoidable. And then finally he says that one thing you should know, that tabhyam vigri, so jalpa vitandabhyam vigrihya kathanam. And Bhashya beautifully paraphrases it, tadetat vidya palanartham. If you realize that somebody is bent upon destroying the knowledge, then if necessary, you can use Jalpa and Visanda also, no problem. So, tadetat vidya palanartham, but certainly not for your gain. You should never use Jalpa and Visanda for gain. So, Vijigishu Katha, no, it is not to be practiced. So for winning, you should not do it. Only use Samvada for arriving at the truth. So not for lava, not for respect. Oh, if you do this, people will respect you. Oh, he defeated him. Don't do that. And not also for khyati, just yes, sir. So for fame also you should not do that. So no personal gain should interfere this. Only aim should be to arrive at the truth. With that motive, if you engage in a discourse, that discourse is ideal form of a discourse or Samvada, and that is called Vaada. But that does not mean that you should not know what Jalpa is or what Visanda is. It is not for use, but for knowing to avoid. One interpretation is like this: to know Jalpa and Visanda, not for use, but to avoid. Others say, no, you detect it. And if you say the intention is to destroy the dharma, then you can also use it to the extent that you can protect Vidya. So Vidya at all costs must be protected. So that is the message. So this is the biggest canvas I took from Nyaya Sutra of Gautama to show the role of Samvada in the entire context. So I have provided you the context. You should keep in mind this context while discussing. Then I have, of course, friends, I could have spent some hours on this, but as I told you that what to do. Now, Vatsyayana, just one or two sentences, something more I will tell you. He says that, of course, this is, I can, so taking help of Yoga Shastra. You see, any system has got two parts. Any philosophical system, in Indian philosophical system I'm talking, any Indian philosophical system, what you call darshana, has got shastra and darshana. One part is shastra, what you call knowledge system, and the other part is the goal. So sadhana and sadhya. What is to be the sadhya and how to be achieved that? The other part is shastra, theorizing, building a model and making it available for use. For me, if you ask me very frankly, I think that all Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, Sankhya, Yoga, and up to Purva Mimamsa, these are all sciences, pure sciences. Shastra part, pure sciences. Only the Uttara Mimamsa, is given all these are the tools. So all these tools are provided to Vedantins because they have to interpret the Upanishads. So for interpretation, you need logic, you need science of interpretation, mimamsa, and so many things you require. Everybody requires yoga shastra. So yoga, in this way, so the pure scientific disciplines are 5 and applied in Vedanta, all the 5. All the 5 are applied. You can see even the metaphysics, in preparing the metaphysics of Vedanta, nobody could avoid Sankhya. They could modify, but they could not avoid. So this is how, this is my way of looking at the thing. So I hope all these things you may keep in mind. Then, in order to achieve that I have already, I think, given you some ideas, but some terms are so beautiful. I should, Atma Vidya Shastram. Atma Vidya. Now, Nyaya Shastra. You think that Nyaya Shastra is a what should I say? Suksha system without any rasa or anything of the kind. It's a very dry kind of a discipline. But he says that it is Atma Vidya Shastram. This Shastra is Atma Vidya Shastra. It's a science of soul, science of Atman. Tasya Grahanam. Grahana stands for not only acquiring, but also retention. Grahana, Dharana. Grahana and Dharana. And then Abhyasa. Abhyasa is Satata Kriya. Constantly you have to practice. Then only samskara will be there with you. And then you will be able to go for Tattva Jnana. So what is Satata Kriya? Adhyayana, Shravana and Chintana. So you study, you hear, and you reflect. And that is why I always say that Indian philosophical systems are systems of reflection. They teach you how to reflect. Tad vidyai sa samvada iti prajna paripakartham. If you want to make your prajna mature, so bring about the maturity to your understanding, you must pick up these for disciplining yourself. And what is paripaka? Paripaka does not leave anything. What is paripaka? Paripaka is samshayat chedanam. If you have any doubt, that doubt will vanish. If you do not know something, if there is some gap will be filled in. Avijnata arthabodha. And then whatever you conclude, you will have corroboration with those who know. So adhyavasitasya abhyanugyanam, corroboration. And what is that? The term has been, I think there is some manuscript discrepancy in the Vatsyayana Bhashya. What is printed is Samapavada. Now you see, pa and ya is very close, no? Writing. So, Samaya Vaada. This should be broken like this.
Yeah, Chaturthi. Yeah.
Samaya Vaada. What is Samaya Vaada? Critical reflection or discussion or discourse with the people who know. So, Samena.
Oh.
Vidusha. Apavada is wrong. So, in one reading, a commentator has tried to explain it in this way, that Samena, Vidusha, Apavada, Manana. So, Apavada in the sense of Manana he is taking, which is a little far-fetched.
Oh.
And this has happened because of misreading. So, it should be Samaya Vaada. So we adopt Vaada, the ideal form of discourse, with persons who are knowledgeable. This Ganganath Jha also has suggested this, that this should be the reading in the Bhashya. So that you should know. Now I have already said that not the term Tadvidya has been is clarified, that it should not restrict only to teacher or only to Shishya or anything, but Shishya, Guru and Sambandhachari. All should be consulted, and with all you should have discussion to arrive. But the beauty is this, that they should be free from jealousy. And for that, precaution has been taken, a strategy has been developed, that he should not feel offended, or he should not be apprehensive that he is coming to ask me, but his intention is to destroy Madhva, or his intention is to destroy Shankara, or he is a Nyaya, he can do anything. So he will be Ramanuja. If that kind of apprehension is there, then you make a strategy. Parataha pragyam upadit samanaha tattvavutsa prakashanena. Just this, you focus on this, that I want to know the truth. Oh Acharya, whether you please corroborate whether I have understood is correct or not. It is not that I am contesting your position. I want to know this. Only with this motive. So this strategy you make to arrive at the truth. So, and what in that case, what should you do? That also has been mentioned by Bhashyakara. Swapaksham anavasthapayam. Don't press for your own position. Don't become, what do you call it? You don't want to leave, no, your position. I'm forgetting the exact English term. So swapaksham anavasthapayam. So don't press for. Don't become obstinate. That well, no, this is Nyaya is correct, or Madhva is correct, or Shankara is correct, or Ramanuja is correct. Don't be obstinate. Swapaksha, give it up for the time being. Because your idea is what? Idea is to arrive at the truth. With this strategy, parishodhayet, you reflect on whatever conclusion you have drawn. So whatever conclusion you have drawn, you just examine it by yourself with the help of students, teachers, your co-participants, and all those who are familiar with that. And the moment you have some kind of a psychological problem, you change the strategy and focus only on tattva bodha, tattva jnana, and adopt the ideal form of discourse or samvada. We are reminded of samatpanihi shrotriyam upeyat, and then tanvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. These are the strategies according to Nyaya. So with this strategy, because the idea is no personal gain, idea is to arrive at the truth. With this motive, when you are engaging in a dialogue, that dialogue is the ideal form. Therefore, Vaada is the ideal form of discourse, Samvada or Katha. Praman, and that is why Vaada has been defined. This I had discussed in earlier talk. In detail, I had given you already to you. So, Pramana, Tarka, Sadhano, Palamba, Siddhanta, Aviruddha, Pancha, Avayavotpanna, Paksha, Pratipaksha, Parigraha, Vaada. The ideal form of discourse is this, that has argumentative form, in that there will be Purvapaksha, Uttarapaksha, and Madhyastha. Everything will be there. And it will have a form which will be in the form of Pararthanumana, Panchavayava, Upapanna, Pararthanumana form. And will not contradict any Siddhanta. And by Pramana, you should be able to either prove sadhana or refute upalamba. So, Pramana and Tarka. So these are the two instruments by which you should prove or you should destroy. So for acceptance also you should have pramana or tarka. And for rejection also you should have pramana and tarka. These are the two tools we should use, and the form of discourse should have employed pararthanumana panchavaya vakya. So this is the form of Vaada, and that is the ideal form of Vaada or Katupakatana or Samvada. So Nyaya Shastra theorized the whole thing in this way. I am sure the participants will take note of it. I wish the webinar a grand success. Thank you, Paturiji. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. We were so fortunate, so lucky that we could have your presence in the symposium, your blessings. And this laid a wonderful foundation for the forthcoming discussions. A theoretical framework has been laid. And this has shown how the theory of Samvada, the word Samvada is getting repeated in all the sutras, as you have noted, everywhere. And Vasyayana Bhashya is actually going to the etymology of Sam there, the Upasarga. And for Samaya is the etymology of the Upasarga there. So that is beautiful. So, and the word Samvada also is much more robust and theoretically sound than dialogue. The word dialogue, I don't know what.
Western dialogue has a very limited sense. Western dialogue has a very specific sense, very, very limited sense.
Yeah, very, very limited sense. Samvada has such an import. The word itself has such a strong import in it.
That is the reason that I took the biggest canvas.
Wonderful, sir.
What is the role for the whole system? Entire system, what is the role of Samvada?
And the ethical aspects also are covered, psychological aspects are also covered, and ultimate worldview, ultimate goal of it is also covered. So that was a wonderful foundation, sir. Thank you very much for blessing us with your inaugural address.
Thank you so much.
There are a few questions. If you have time, we will take up. Otherwise, I will ask them to approach you through emails or...
Yeah, that will be better because
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you so much.